Hello, my friends. Happy Friday. We got through this whole week, and it was only a short week. Today, we're going to talk about a huge or very large iceberg. Okay, so an iceberg is a big, big, big piece of ice. Okay, I don't have a big, big piece of ice like that, but it's big ice, it's cold. So what I did is I took this frozen piece of bread. It's like this. It's bigger than this, but it's cold. This was in the freezer, like a big ice piece of ice. A huge iceberg broke off in Antarctica. Antarctica is a continent, and it's the coldest continent on Earth. Most of the Antarctica is ice. Imagine how cold that is. No matter where you are, it's ice. It's freezing. Sometimes the ice cracks and breaks off. So it'd be hard for me to break a piece of ice. So what I did is I took this frozen piece of bread and I break it and it breaks off. That's what happens to the iceberg. It's together and then it breaks apart and it breaks off. The iceberg is the biggest iceberg to break off Antarctica. It's more than 100 miles long. And then it's four times, four times bigger than New York City, New York. And the iceberg is floating in the sea, so it's on the water and it's just floating. And scientists are watching the iceberg to see what happens. Let's see if we can answer a couple of quick questions. What broke off Antarctica? Was it the iceberg? Was it a mountain or a forest? Well, we said it was something very large and very cold. And the mountain is large, could be cold because there could be snow on it, but that didn't break off. In the forest, the trees would have to break off. So it's the iceberg. One of these days I'll be able to do this. Who are watching the iceberg? Is it a scientist? Is it dancers? Or is it a cashier? Now, a scientist is somebody who studies weather and icebergs and different things. A cashier is who checks us out at the store. And dancers, well, they dance. So if you said a scientist, you're right. The scientists are watching the iceberg. And what is Antarctica? Is it a country? Is it a continent? Or a city? Now we know it's not a city because they said it's four times bigger than New York City, so it's not a city. And it's not a country, but it's a continent. Antarctica is a continent. Okay, so we learned a little bit about this huge iceberg that broke off in Antarctica, and I showed you how it broke apart. It broke off, and it's floating in the water, and the scientists, I got bread all over my computer, the scientists are keeping an eye on it and watching it. Till next time, my friends, you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.